You're live.
Welcome, everybody. I'm here live from Belmont, Massachusetts. My name is Noel Arellano. I'm representing Truth, Freedom, and Health. I'm actually here to support Dr.SHIVA for a few reasons. We'll get into that. Let's start with number one. We're here to support Dr.SHIVA because he's faced multiple times having been outcast by racism and by the caste system. Let's go to example number one. When he ran for Senate in 2018.
In this neighborhood, yeah.
In his own neighborhood. In this same neighborhood that he's lived for many decades now. What we see is actually the neighborhood colluding against him by banning his signs. But before that, all signs were actually allowed. Any Democratic that they supported, that the neighborhood supported, you would see many signs of them in the same neighborhood. But
on the land, yeah.
On the land. But as soon as Dr.SHIVA started running his campaign in this neighborhood, in his own home, which he's lived in for many decades, they colluded against him to ban all his political signs. So we see the hypocrisy of saying one thing and doing the other. In the same neighborhood, you see down the road Black Lives Matter banners down the road. But as soon as Dr.SHIVA, who supported many supporters of injustices, as soon as he becomes an official candidate, they collude against him to stop his campaign. Hypocrisy number two. Let's go to the organic garden that Dr.SHIVA wanted to organize for the benefit of everybody in this community. Once again, we see the hypocrisy. We see people, the neighborhood, banding together to shut down his organization of planting the organic garden. Instead, what do we have? We actually have the same common land being used for parties or stuff that is not respecting the land. And it's a land which he has rights to, and everybody in this community has rights to. So that's hypocrisy number two. The other part is the reason we're here is to support Dr.SHIVA. And right behind me, we have two banners, which I'll read out loud. The first one here is by Dr.SHIVA himself. And the first one says, "I face the caste system every day," by Dr.SHIVA. This talks about his journey from India, where he's faced the caste system there, and in his own neighborhood in Belmont, Massachusetts, he still faces that same caste system. For the other banner, we have another quote. Let's move to that. And let me read this out loud too. It says, "Our objective is complete freedom, complete justice, and complete equality by any means necessary." This is a quote from Malcolm X. And for that same quote, we're here to represent and support Dr.SHIVA in his lifelong battle against the caste system and against racism and against injustices everywhere. Just as a prime example, as we were going out preparing for this, down the road, a Tesla vehicle passed in front of us. That same hypocrisy is everywhere. In that same Tesla vehicle,
On the bumper, yeah.
a bumper sticker said "No to Elon." Here we have a person at the prime example of hypocrisy, driving a Tesla vehicle, but not having the same self-respect to disown that vehicle,
Like Sheryl Crow did,
like
yeah.
other people did. And so we see this type of hypocrisy. Dr.SHIVA personally has seen this type of hypocrisy for many, many years now in his own neighborhood, and it needs to stop. Why we're here is Dr.SHIVA's history. He's fought against working people. He's fought for working people.
Yeah.
All his life, from university, from his childhood, and now as a scientist, inventor, PhD, MIT graduate. And we're here to stand next to Dr.SHIVA because he's fought for us. And it's the message that he's sending today. His message is actually we need to fight and support our own fights at home. It starts at home. And that's the main example. So with that said, we're here to support Dr. Shiva, not only in his battles, because he has actually fought for our rights across this nation and even across seas. And so with that, we close. Thank you, Dr. Shiva.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you very much.